Okay, hello everybody. Today we're going to be talking about how to do what I do, which works. And what I do is I'm more or less an expert on nutrition. Back in 2009, I had lost 100 pounds, and I've managed to keep it off for since 2009. So from September of 2008 to July of 2009, I lost 100 pounds and I got down to 170 pounds. Currently, my weight is about 153 pounds. I started off at a real high of 306 pounds. And I pretty much eat a carnivore diet, a modified carnivore diet, because I do eat some salads. I'm trying to cut back on the amount of salads I eat because it turns out you don't need the fiber in your diet if you have a good meat diet. But I still like the salads because I like the way it makes me feel. I like the taste of salads, and everything goes good and smooth. And plus, I get it. I get some of those vitamins from the salads that you don't get from meats. So I pretty much get all my vitamins from meat. I don't use any supplements whatsoever. I do have a crutch, which is diet sodas, and I know a lot of physicians poo-poo this, but a lot of physicians poo-poo a lot of good things. So I don't really listen to the physicians too much. I follow the people who are experts and who do what works. And so I follow good psychological programs and good philosophical programs. And I watch the physicians who really know what they're talking about and who happen to align with what I do, which is pretty much a carnivore diet. I use a modified keto diet, a low carb diet, a modified carnivore diet. I call it a modified carnivore diet. What? Intermittent fasting. I do intermittent fasting all the time. And they said recently, a bunch of quacks, that intermittent fasting, this was the American Heart Association, which I now classify as a quack organization. You got to be careful of these so-called authorities because they're going to feed you misinformation. Do the research yourself and find the diet that works good for you. You don't have to do a carnivore diet. You can do a vegetable diet, but I recommend if you're going to do a vegetarian diet that you add some eggs and cheese and uh, dairy to it, the high fat milk, and some of the cream. Eat a lot of healthy stuff if you have a problem with the killing of animals, which I don't. I think if we're gonna if we're species, our species is evolved to eat animals, and so I say try to eat healthy animals, eat animals that have lived a good life and were killed in a kosher fashion. Killed quickly and humanely, and had a good life. And hopefully that the food industry will change so that we're not eating a bunch of cows and pigs that are stuck in a pen and fed grains. We want them out there roaming in the pastures and fertilizing the land and turning the deserts into grasslands and getting those grasslands changed into forests. And we can do it through through a joint effort. But first, we're going to focus on the diet because diet is good for not only your gut health, it's good for your weight and your self-esteem. So we want to build people with high self-esteem. We want people to have good brain health, and it's the little higher keto diets, the fats that your brain needs, not sugar. Definitely not sugar. People say, "What diet should I eat?" I'm saying just stay away from the processed junk food. Don't eat those processed starches, sugars. Don't eat those seed oils. You don't need vitamin supplements. Just eat a good healthy diet. What does that mean? Try to, get food that's grass fed. Try to get your meat that's been grass fed. Try to get the chickens that have been grazed out in the open like that, and try to eat a very try to get fish that are not farm fed fish. So okay, so my main thing tonight is crossing the barrier that's keeping people from learning. And so people reach this threshold of indifference. And they say, I can't diet. I've tried diets and they don't work. And I'm saying, hey, guess what? You've simply reached the threshold of indifference. You've tried some things and you've reached that point to where it's very difficult because you didn't learn how to change your lifestyle. Um, my partner and I, we eat a very healthy, low carb diet, and we've been doing this for many years now. I eat one meal a day. She eats 2 meals a day. Her meals are within a 6 hour window. She eats mostly a carnivore diet, low carb, plenty of vegetables. She does eat some fruits and sweets every once in a while. But again, you don't want to ruin your life. You want to have a cheat day every once in a while. That's okay. Not a big deal. Uh, but try to stick with a very healthy lifestyle. Exercise, 1 or 2 hours every day. If you're under the age of 50, you should be exercising at least 2 hours every day. If you're over the age of 50, you should be exercising at least 1 hour every day. Come on, I exercise 2 or 3 hours every day, and so does Jennifer. If we can do it, you can do it. So quit pissing and moaning and saying, oh, I can't do it. I don't have the time. I don't have the equipment. I don't have any special equipment. We have a family here of 8 people. We live on a couple thousand US dollars every month, and we're doing fine. And you guys can do the same thing. So please like and subscribe because that's going to help Jennifer become more self-sufficient. And that's all we need. We don't need money from you. We need you to like and subscribe. We need to follow our videos and watch them. So we'll be your coaches. We're meta coaches. We're into self-development first, and then creating good relationships, and then helping you to develop yourself. And then our production is to produce more healthy people. Yeah. And so how do you cross the threshold of indifference? Well, that's where we create the meta states. And the meta states say, hey, guess what? There's the unconscious incompetence. The next level is conscious incompetence. To go from unconscious to conscious, all you got to do is become aware. Yeah. And you can actually become aware that you can do it and become competent. That's the third stage. Conscious competence. Eventually, you want to hit unconscious competence. And the first thing you got to do is you got to cross that threshold of indifference that says, hey, I'm going to try it. At least I'm going to go on a diet. It's like a New Year's resolution. How do you do that? Follow Tony Robbins. He tells you how to build the states up. And then when you start building these states up, these good mental states, and they're enlightened states of mind, and they're emotionally transcendent states of mind that make you feel good and happy and empower you. And it helps you cross that threshold of indifference. And when you brainwash yourself like this, when you hypnotize yourself with this, and when you get into a good group that holds you accountable and you become more reliable, then you can cross that threshold of indifference and become competent. It's like a baby walking for the first time. You got to take that first step. So create the meta states, and I don't need to tell you how to do it. Go study some NLP. Get off your lazy behinds and do it. Okay? Yeah, you can do it. I believe in you. Start believing in yourself, for crying out loud. Oh, for crying in the light. You can do it. So get off your butt, take that first step, and then follow us. We'll help kind of inspire you. I've been doing this now since 2009. What is that, baby? Is that 15 years? 15 years I did this. I used to weigh 306 pounds. I had a chronic cough. I had high blood pressure. My kidney screwed up because I got a stone in it and it blocked this kidney, and I lost this kidney. But this kidney had a stone in it too. It had a stone that was 1 inch in diameter. Imagine that. And through a lot of lithotripsy, they got that fixed up, and through the diet, now it's healing. And actually, this kidney has started to grow back. So, hey, if I can do it, you can do it. And I got rid of that chronic cough, and my blood pressure came down, and I'm healthy. I weigh 153 pounds or thereabouts. My weight fluctuates a little bit. And you can eat all the food you like, all the food you love. If you eat a modified keto diet or a little higher carnivore diet, and you can still be pretty much a vegetarian. and have those eggs and that milk and that cheese, that cream that you love, and make that food tasty. And you can eat a couple meals a day. That's how mankind has lived on that for tens of thousands of years before this modern age of processed food. So yeah, you can do it, and you can get to the point to where I'm at, which is really happy. Your brain's clear, everything works well. You can start learning these meta states. You can start studying a little NLP, and if you don't like NLP, study a little secular Buddhism. Get away from that religious nonsense. Yeah, it's nonsense. So it's not helping you. It just fetters your mind. My mind is unfettered. If you don't believe me, watch Bart Ehrman and Josh Bowden, some of these other guys who can tell you the truth about religion. Yeah, your pretend God doesn't exist. Yeah, big wake up call. But if you are religious, you can still believe in God and not follow these stupid religions. God doesn't need money. So on that note, let's try to cross that threshold of indifference. Find out what your goals are. Your goals should be health. Everybody should have the goal of health. You know, watch Tony Robbins. He's going to tell you, you know what? If you got your health, you got a million dreams. If you don't have your health, you got one dream. Come on, people, wake up. This is enlightenment. Cross that threshold of indifference. That's your responsibility. Take accountability. Yeah, say I'm an agent. I'm the person that makes the change. When you do that, you get responsibility. With what responsibility comes power. Yeah, with great power comes responsibility. Also, when you take responsibility, you acquire power. Empower yourself. Take that step, and then once you've taken that step, become so competent that it's an unconscious act. It's a routine, just something you do. It's a habit. You eat healthy. You love what you eat. You don't worry about your weight. You got high self-esteem, and boom, the world is your oyster. Yeah. So on that note, namaste. Like and subscribe. Thank you, everybody.